What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and this is a kind of a more serious story. It's one about a teacher. For everyone who's been, um, kind of gaslighting. When we see these like weirdos pushing gender ideology on students, like, oh, that never happens. You're crazy. You're crazy. That never really happens. Well, a New York teacher has forced a fifth grader to use male pronouns, and that resulted in them wanting to remove themselves from the planet. It resulted in brutal treatment from their students, all because the teacher was really excited to convert a student. At least that's how it looks. And to make things worse, that teacher's parents or that teacher's bosses all knew about it, and they did nothing to stop it. Make sure you leave a like on this video and you subscribe. We're going to follow this story. New York teacher forced someone who's 9 to use male pronouns, causing, and then, there's a lawsuit pending now. Good. And you're going to see a lot more of this. A Long Island teacher, Deborah Rosenquist, a fifth grade teacher at Terryville Road Elementary in Port Jefferson Station, started calling the 9-year-old Leo and used the opposite gender pronouns toward the beginning of the 2021-2022 school year, according to a lawsuit filed in Suffolk County Court by the child's parents last month. The parents say that they were only clued in about what was happening in January 2022 when the school principal called them, telling them their child, referred to in court papers as AV, had drawn a picture of a girl writing, "I want to end myself, and I feel sad a lot." Wonder where a 9-year-old learns about those concepts, by the way. The principal also informed the parents that their child had even met with the school psychologist, telling the mental health worker that she was confused about her gender identity, the court papers say. Despite Rosenquist, 62, and by the way, are you surprised she looks the way she does? Having students refer to the student for months at this point as Leo, it was only during the January 27th call that parents were asked for the very first time if that name was even okay. The parents were supportive as long as their student who had requested the name change, the filing said, but they had their doubts. She asked to be called Leo to identify as a boy. In the past, she had been called that by a friend, but in reference to her astrological sign. Her parents also became concerned when they saw complaints against Rosenquist on Facebook, claiming the teacher had been reported for very bad behavior, and the school district had done nothing about it because she was tenured. During a deeper dig on the social media comments, the parents found that Rosenquist didn't follow the school curriculum and taught her students about transgender people and told them to, quote, try being gay or to go by the opposite gender, the suit claims. These are fifth graders, 9. The educator even made her own LGBTQ plus book called I Am Neither for her 9 and 10-year-old students, and assigned a book called When Aiden Becomes a Brother, according to the lawsuit. While the parents weren't concerned by the topic, they were worried that they were being taught at too young of an age, and were worried that Rosenquist had significantly deviated from the school district's curriculum. Certainly sounds like it, right? One of the parents met with the principal, the superintendent, and assistant superintendent on February 3rd, 2022, when the administrators, quote, admitted that the issue had not been handled properly, or they're going to lose a lot of money, and said they hadn't known about the off-curriculum materials that Rosenquist had been using. While they said they had investigated, it was clear the investigation was superficial at best, the suit claims. The parents are accusing the school of negligence in failing to properly monitor Rosenquist's classroom and train and supervise staff. The parents were incredibly concerned about the well-being of their 9-year-old. They had and always will support their child, but worried that they were being persuaded by Rosenquist to be trans and had not expected any such inclination, but she had not expressed any such inclination. Their daughter was placed in a different classroom, but now is a subject of bullying and alienation. Some of her classrooms even have a text message group where they discuss the student, leave them out, and say terrible things about them. The family is suing for unspecified damages. Rosenquist was removed from that classroom, but is now teaching even younger students, according to the family's lawyer. Wabnick told the Post in a statement that Rosenquist, quote, manipulated a preteen female into changing her gender identity when the child did not feel the inclination to do so. A working number could not be found for the teacher. The psychological and social damage Rosenquist caused this child and her family was immense. You know what's interesting on top of this? If you dig deeper, her bosses knew about it. The new revelations came as a shock to the parents who did welcome a preteen daughter exploring her identity, but believed she was being forced to do so. They also found that Rosenquist had been allegedly reported to the school district for putting their hands on people, but nothing was done about it. Soon after, the parents started speaking with other parents at the school. They revealed that Rosenquist had not only gone beyond the curriculum, but taught kids about being trans, but actively encouraging them to try being gay. Superintendent Jennifer J. Quinn at the school's principal and Anne-Marie Scovey both admitted to the parents in a meeting in February that they knew Rosenquist was peddling this mentality in the classroom, the lawsuit claims. The suit also states that parents of Rosenquist's former students stated that Rosenquist went beyond the district's curriculum and taught her students about being transgender, suggested kids try being gay, or try being a boy if they were a girl, or try being a girl if they were a boy. Rosenquist pursued her own agenda outside the curriculum, which included persuading fifth graders. Yeah, again, I talked about that already. To further her agenda, Rosenquist read and provided her students with graphic books about gender and bedroom stuff that were not in the curriculum. She created her own book called I Am Neither, of course, and read a book called When Aiden Becomes a Brother, a book about transitioning, surgery, and hormones. Again, 8 and 9. When Aiden Becomes a Brother, the mother admits misgendering her son and said apologize for the pronoun mistake. It has most recently been banned from curriculums in a Florida school district. At least one of the books not in the curriculum were found in her classroom after a search was conducted. Her bosses admitted that the teacher should have gone to the parents, and if the child wanted to be called a different name or pronoun, that issue was not handled properly. Well, the child didn't want to, because now the child wants to end their existence on this planet because this teacher filled their poor head with all this craziness. And now this kid is going to probably have to change schools. What's interesting to me is, for all of these, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'll have to cover this. That's all of these people, all these weirdos, pretend that this stuff doesn't happen, that you're crazy, you're transphobic or homophobic or all this stuff. Oh, it's just one weirdo teacher on TikTok. Oh, it's just one whatever on this. Like, no, it appears to be a major issue. It appears to be literally all over the world. At least all over in this country. And these teachers are doing this kind of stuff. Just put it this way. The only reason we knew about this is because a child was so messed up by the teacher that they wanted to end their existence on this planet. I mean, I don't even really understand what on earth we have to do. I mean, homeschool your kids. I suppose that's a big takeaway here. There's going to be more stories like this coming out. There's going to be more lawsuits, and I 100% support them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do share it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.